I'm in the inside of my van today. There's no real good angle since the sun is out. All you see is glare. But today I'm going to be demonstrating, well, I'm doing an ignition switch. So I'm going to switch over my old ignition key lock cylinder, which actually goes in here. I've already done it for demonstration purposes. I'm going to do it again so I can show you guys how it's done. So let's check it out. So the ignition key and the ignition switch I'm working on is from a 1966 G10 van. This is the new ignition switch. This is a standard product. That's the name of the company, Standard. So let's do a side-by-side comparison. There we go. So tabs are the same. So if you look under 1966 C10 trucks, they match the G10 vans of the same era. So let's show you the process for removing the keyed cylinder. All right, so let's check out the cylinder itself. All right, so to your right, you're starting the vehicle. If you turn to the far left, that is counterclockwise. That's where you want to be to remove the keyed cylinder. There's two holes. So if they're on top when you're looking at it, bring them down. That way they're on the bottom. The furthest to the right is the one you want to poke at. You want to stick something real thin. And in fact, it doesn't have to be very far down. So all you want to do is bring this tab down right here that you see right here. As a spring action, you want to be able to press that down. See that? I don't know if you can see that on camera, but let's use what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a thin wire, real flimsy actually. That's all you want to do. Far left, counterclockwise, you're gonna push. You're just gonna push. You're gonna feel that spring action. Once you do that, you're gonna turn just a little, just a tiny bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. You almost need this gripped on something like a vice. So if you do it in between your legs, like, it could be easily done. But let's check it out here for the camera. You don't feel the spring action? Well, there it is. Came off. It had already turned and come off. So let's put it back in. Far left. Let's do that thin wire. I feel the spring action now. Turn it just slightly, and up. There it is. Here's the old one. Here's the new one it's going into. Put it in there. That's it. You have a new ignition switch with your original lock cylinder. Feels good. Let's take it off of this one. If this one ever needs to be changed, it's the same way. Far left, counterclockwise. Depress on that guy. Turn just slightly, Let's try the other end of this wire. I'm telling you, this wire's flimsy. The hole to the right. I feel the spring action. Let's try it again. Press. Press. There it is. All right. And just put it back in there. Presto. Hope it helps. And good luck on your project. But before we go, let me show you the process of installing it into the actual dash cluster itself. So this is a new cylinder going in place. That's what the little shaved off section is for, so that it can go into this hole with that shape right there. So you just want to align that so that spot aligns right there and it goes straight in. All right, and that's what these washers are for. They screw into this, so we're just gonna use one, put it on there at the height we want. Actually, I'm gonna face the tabs down. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, one-handed action wasn't working. Off camera, I was able to align it nicely so it can just smoothly go on there. All right, so here's the flat tap section. Right there. I really don't need it. On this one, there's a washer that goes on top, has a bezel, just like these. That's what we're putting on there. But I'll put both, and I'll adjust it as I go. So G10 van, but Corvairs have these. Corvair vans have these, and Monza's, the little spider gauges, they have that. So let's go ahead and put ours on. That's the bezel I'm putting on. So I just want enough sticking up so it'll be flush. All right, and there's the bezel installed, nice and flush. So what I had sticking up already was just right. Look at that. And in the back is that washer nut. I don't even have to adjust that. That sits right flush against the wall of the cluster. So let's go ahead and install this guy. All right, all the wires are plugged in to the correct areas in the back. There you go. New ignition switch is in. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps you on installing your ignition switch and switching over your keyed cylinder. Please subscribe and hit a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.